Hello, Stampers. It's Becky Hahn at Becky's Stamping Studio today with Friday Fun Day. Today we're going to do a card I've been wanting to do for a while. It's called a bay window card. I actually saw this done at a retreat I was at, designed a little differently, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And I've been wanting to do it, and saw a card done by Lisa Curcio. And she had some awesome directions. I had seen a lot of different ways to do it, and I really like this way. And I think you are going to find it's really simple for you to do too. Today, I am using the Whimsical trees and the beautiful Whimsy and Wonder paper. I really hadn't used much of the tree paper. And I really haven't grabbed all of the DSP in this wonderful paper. But this is the piece, and it's got mint macaron, and I call it more of a hologram. And I'm actually using the back side too, which is kind of a distressed look mint macaron. To go with it is one of my favorite pieces in the collection, which is a hologram stripe. So I've added a little bit of that to my card. The other thing I've added is our silver specialty paper. And that is actually with the Peaceful Cabin on page 37. And it comes with 3 sheets. I'm not even sure what they actually call it. It's silver foil specialty paper. Let's see. There it is. It doesn't say. Okay. So, anyhow, it is here. And it's got a silver with kind of a line through it. It's got kind of a matte. And then it's got a very shiny, almost charcoal piece. So those are the 3 pieces. There's one of each. This is carrying over. I can kind of give you an idea of what is staying and what is leaving now. Unfortunately, the whole Whimsical trees will be done with this mini catalog. I would encourage you to order your items while they are available. And if you don't have a demonstrator and would like to support me, my November host code, and you can order from my website at beckystampinstudio.blogspot.com and place your orders there, and it would be much appreciated. I offer all of my directions, pictures, samples, measurements at no cost to you. Great. And it's a great way then to be able to support my business. Okay, so here's where we're at. A bay window card, it's really nice. It lays flat and goes into a regular envelope. And then you have to have, it's a little bit like an easel card. And then it has this little bay window appearance here. Now, I have seen some where, and we'll talk about how you can make that into very different shaped bay windows. And then I've put a couple of the cute little trees that are in those dies. Okay? Not much, well, no stamping. My ladies that were here for my card class on Wednesday and Thursday said how much, there are a lot of seasoned stampers, how much the stamping has changed. So here's what we're going to start with. And I'll set this over here. All right. It's called a bay window card. You're going to start, in my case, for my version, and I have several others, of course, to show you. It's a quarter or a half sheet, 4.5 by 11. In other words, it's a half sheet cut lengthwise, so you'll be able to make 2 cards, which is what I'm doing. So, yeah, obviously, this is 2 separate pieces. So, you'll need a quarter sheet trimmed of basic white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. You only need 1. I'm doing 2 cards for you today. The Whimsy and Wonder, you need that tree paper I was showing you. It's on page 25. And the papers are all down here, which I have shown you before. And then this fun set and the fun tree dies, which I have used quite a bit. And so what we're going to do, or what I did, is you're going to take a piece of that tree paper and you're going to line up two of the dies. This die fits in this tree here, which I've already cut out. It's the mint macaron. I call it a scribble. There's a stamp just like it. And then there's little silver dots or hologram dots. And then we have another die that goes, and we'll cut out this other tree, which is the one that's holding the bay window up. This one right here. There are also, and I've cut out another one in case as I build my card, there's another little tree, and we have, I don't see it in this particular piece, but we have a little die that works with those as well. So all kinds of fun things. Okay, so I have that piece. I do have that piece as well. So you're going to need, and also with that paper, you're going to need one, let's see, tree paper, die cuts, trees. Let's go with the actual pieces here. And hopefully I won't lose them. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm bopping the directions around. I promise I'll settle down. Okay, you'll need 2 pieces of trees. These are 2 pieces at 1 1/4 by 4. I went a little bigger, I think, with these and went 1 3/8. So those are the 2 sides of the window. The mint pattern, which is the opposite side of this one, it's 1 piece at 1 1/2. I also made it a little bigger, 1 5/8 by 4. And then I switched to the hologram, and these little pieces on either side are 2 pieces at 3/8, trim it maybe just a little bit, and by 4. And so then I also use the Whimsical tree dies. Mine are all kind of, I use them a lot, so they aren't all real neat and tidy here, but I do put them on a piece of magnet in my stamp case. And so besides the ones that I needed to cut them out, I also used this one, which you can see here, which is what I cut in the silver. Okay, the silver specialty paper, as well as the little trees. Okay, but I'm going to give you some options with that one. We'll kind of see. You'll need the Whimsical tree dies, and then you'll need some tear tape. Okay? You'll also need a bone folder, your score pal, whatever you like to score with, because we're going to take that long strip here, and we're going to score this. Okay? All right, I'm going to fold this so you can focus. I like to record rather than do lives so you can stop. I realize I can save it, but I just as soon, and I don't edit anything. What you see is what you get. Okay, so here's your base. We're going to score it at 3/8 of an inch. Personally, I go over to the shorter side of my Stampin' Trimmer and go 3/8. All right? And then I'll flip it all the way around. Now, for those of you who sew, this might be a little easier. These are some odd measurements, but it works. 7/8. So you need to go to 1 7/8 and score it there. You need to slide it over to 3 5/8, and then 5 1/8. And personally, I go up here now. I don't see very well. Make sure you're still using your score blade, and then 5 1/2, because that's half of the card. I mean, that's where you normally would crease this long card. Okay, so I am done scoring. And then here's how you fold it. Fold your card in half. Yay, I have my bone folder today. Okay. Beginning at the outside cut edge, and you can go either way, you fold this 1/4 inch, 3/8, whatever it is, up. Okay, like so. And then you fold this one back. You fold this one back, and then you're back to the next little crease here, and you fold this one up. The other one I'll work from the fold out. And so then you have a bayfold. There's your base. That's all you need. You're basically done. We have some gorgeous and have had some gorgeous border papers that make this card go together really, really well. Okay? That is in my directions that I offer for free. I'll put them down in the comments. Okay, your quarter sheet of white trimmed. So it's 4 by 5 1/4. I still use the 5 swipe rule, 4 corners and a little bit down the middle. I'm still trying to teach my garner ladies that. All right, so that goes on the inside. Then on our little 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch piece, this is kind of like the book binding card. So we put a piece of tear and tape. You can use Seal Plus. It's pressure sensitive, so I always burnish it with my bone folder, which I haven't had. Fold it over, crease, and it helps hold that down so the rest of it works really well. Okay, so let's start on the outside. I like to work on my silicone mat. I'm going to lay out my pieces. So I have a little piece, I have some trees, I have the center, which is a little bigger, I have some trees, and I have a little strip. And all we do is glue it down. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see if my seal's working today. Okay, can you see why I'm working on my silicone mat? And I've got these at 4 inches, so you're going to have a little bit on either end. And as you can see, I went a little wide, and it just depends on how it goes. So I will do a little trimming. Good. All right, so there's that. Next piece is a set of trees. Now, if you want to be very cautious or conscious of where your trees are getting cut, go for it. I try to line up the bottoms and the tops, and again, it just depends on how accurately you cut. Then I'm going to go to the center piece. Start at the bottom, lay that down. Oh, we're just moving right along. And the next piece. I wasn't sure if I liked these colors for Christmas, and I have fallen in love. I really have. Okay, so I'm going to lay this flat, line it up. It's going to hang off a little bit too. So take my paper snips. See, it's just not even that extra 16th. Okay, now we need to create our picture, whatever we're going to do with our image. You also want to think about what are we going to do to prop this up. So I think I'm going to go with that. Well, let's lay flat first. So I have a couple of different trees. These were all cut out of the paper in our silver and mint macaron. I cut a couple of the cute little, what I call a stick tree. Might be a little bit of a Charlie Brown tree. Okay. The other thing I have also done, and I wanted to share with you, included with this suite, are some pearlized snowflakes. You get 6 to a sheet. I save the extra stuff, and I have cut out, can you see that? Some of these trees and used them in other cards. But unfortunately, white on white, although there's a shimmer, doesn't work really well. But I did want to share that with you because I do love to share. Okay, so what I have here is the silver tree. And if you look at my sample, I've punched out all these pieces in the middle and then the green shows through, which I do like. But I wanted to share with you and show and teach that if you're very careful, you can pull this out of the die, ha ha, and leave all the pieces in. So if you like that look, and if you're very careful, you can leave all that. But I kind of like the green showing in between. But again, I wanted to share something with you. So if I had my, oh, it's not on my pickup tool. If I had my brush, notice how easily these do just punch out after one pass through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, so we've got that ready. I decided, I played back and forth. You can too. You know, do I want this underneath? Do I want this on top? I thought this was the prettier of the two, so that's why I, and my tree hangs off just a little, so I don't want adhesive over there. And I kind of put it near the bottom. And I want the point on the paper so I can put a cute little jewel on the top. I love bling. This piece then I popped up and I used, whoops, wrong size. There is a solid piece. I've done this before on some of my other cards, which you may or may not have seen. They are all over on my blog. You can search Whimsical Trees and you'll see all of them. I do try to post something every day. The one day I may miss is Sunday. I have church and Bible study, and that's the day my mom and I do a lot of our work together and create and all that kind of stuff. So I've used mini dimensionals, and I'm going to let this one hang over a little bit too. Okay, put the dimensionals down. I didn't worry about the tip. If you want to, go for it. So here it's seen. I don't really need to do a whole lot. I just love it. Okay, so then I have my basic rhinestones. I'm going to put the biggest one up here. And I'm going to put a medium one here. And you can put some more in the top if you want. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my little tree that's going to be my support. And I'm going to use mini glue dots again, or dimensionals. Two, I'm going to go ahead and put one up here. Pokey tools work real good for all of this, as you can see. Okay, on this one, I'm leaving it white. You'll see a couple of my samples. I've done other things, and you could too. I'm going to center this near the white, and then see how this tucks with a little difficulty under there. Okay, and it needs a rhinestone too, and so I'm going to go with a littler one there. So I have 1, 2, 3. All right, we're just about done. Inside then, it's up to you. You have room to write. You have room to stamp a message if you'd rather stamp something. I'm going to take my little trees. How did I do that? I went back and forth trying to decide how I wanted to do it. So I'm going to put a little tree in here, there. And a little tree in here. And something I'd like to try, ladies, is if you place an order with me, I will try to send you a sample of any of the stamps you purchase, one per set only, or one per customer, or I'll send you one of my video cards. I don't need all of them that I need, and I like to share. So there's this bay window card using the Whimsical trees. Isn't that easy and fun? The only, I hate to call it a problem, an issue that I see is, how do you tell the recipient what to do after it comes out of the envelope like this? And so if you have any suggestions, that would be great. I have stamps that say pull here, push there, you know, whatever, but I don't know if that would work. Okay, so there's those two. So in an effort, like I said, to work with some of our border paper, I made this one. This is from the Peaceful Place paper, and I hadn't used it. It's a border paper. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it with all the wintry trees and the silver snowflakes and all that kind of thing. So I had to play with this for a while. What I had in my head and what I actually, if you could see all the pieces I have over at my where I actually work. So we still have everything is scored. What I ended up doing, and that's what I'll show you here in a moment, is I was cutting pieces. I put a tree in the middle and just pieces from the sky on the sides. I tried all kinds of things. Um, and I actually ended up adding this, and this piece. It came to a little over 4 inches. I think it was 4.5. And I just started cutting, and the image or the picture just carries on through. A lot of you do cards where you cut strips out of your cardstock anyway. So that's how this one was done. And instead of using a tree, I stamped a greeting, and I wanted to share with you what I did with that greeting. Is I was using the paper I'm going to demonstrate to you here. I was using this paper from this collection, these trees, which I hadn't used either, and decided it would make a neat one of these cards. And when all was said and done, I think this is the piece I still had available. So I stamped my sentiment from Merriest Moments, Season's Greetings, and I wanted to cut it out, but I didn't. I could have cut it by hand. I have some that are longer. So what I did after I stamped it is, I love these picture this dies, which were on sale. I hope you didn't miss them. And I cut out my message after I stamped it, just using the center of my picture this die. Okay, another Becky tip. All right. So, and then on the inside, I took one of the other trees or tree tops, I think it was this one, and fussy cut it and just added it to the inside. Okay, so this was a whole sheet of white like I showed you with the tear tape here, and I used a piece that you can't even see the trees so that it carried over, so when the card is open it looks all gray and silver. Okay, bay window card. All right, so that was another one I created. So let me show you the one that I'm going to kind of give you an idea how to use a border print. So this is the other card that I used, that other piece of paper. Okay, and again, so what I did, where's my piece here? I wanted to share this one in case you have this paper, which is gorgeous, and show you how I did this. Okay, so you have a 6x6 piece of paper here, okay? Designer paper. I told you I'd show you, I've got this scored already. So if you start at the crease, okay, and you fold it up first, I actually think this is better than what I had. And then it's kind of like an accordion. And then you fold it. And then you fold it. And the last one is the one that'll do the little catching. Okay. All right. White piece, where did you go? Here it is. Okay. A review, seeing things another time is always good. 3, 4, 5. Okay. I like 1/8 of an inch. That's what I use on my card directions. That will be at the bottom in the comments. Okay. Tear tape. Love that it does tear. Let's do the pressure sensitive thing. And peel that off. Attach that down. Okay. So what do we do with this piece? We're going to take our trimmer, and I just wanted to miss the top of the tree. So I put in my trimmer, so I just missed the top of the tree. See, this is also a piece where you can stamp messages and things. And it's 4 inches tall. And that'll still give you all of these and none of this. 4 inches tall. Again, you've got extra to stamp with. Okay, I'm going to bring out my directions, she said. Here it is. Okay. So I'm going to start with this side because this has as much of the tree as you're going to get. It is cut off. Okay, so we start with 3/8. I'm going to, since I had to trim some, I'm going to go a little bit less. That's 1/4. Here's 3/8. Okay. Whoop. Cutter. There's piece number 1. Next piece, 1 3/8. I'm going to back off 1. There's the next piece. 1 1/2, 1 5/8. I'll just back off a little. There's piece number 2. The next one is skinny again. 1 3/4, a little bigger, whatever. Okay. And then the last one is another one of those 3/8, which is right here. I'm going to back off a little bit. Okay. And I am going to set this one aside. I'll show you what, but we don't need that right now. So here's all my pieces to put on my card. I am just going to leave it like that. Where is my silicone sheet? Let's see if they all match up a little. I don't have quite as much hanging off. I do prefer putting it on the paper. Remember, with adhesive, you put your adhesive on the smallest piece. So, yeah, better size. 1/8 of an inch, kind of 1/8 of an inch. Build from there. Smaller than the card. So that's how you can use, we've had some borders from last year. I was looking to see if I still had any. Was it called Frosty Christmas, Christmas Frost? It had all those beautiful images and scenery and things. Oops, that's not the piece I want. Here's the next one. See, it's just like cutting and reconstructing like we sometimes do just on a regular card. I like to open this up just in case All right, build a card. Do you see how simple that is? Okay, I cut, and I'm not sure what I did with, here they are. Okay, I cut some different things from different cards or different pieces of paper. Means you have to fussy cut. So I cut out a couple of these extra trees, okay? I ended up using one of the larger one. If you look at the paper, you have a set of 3 trees and a set of 2. I used the bigger one here on the front. This one is from next to it. Then on the, to open this one up and hold it open, I used, and this is where I did decide to put this paper. So you can kind of see one of the trees back there. So I did not take the time to cut out more trees. If you place an order and I send this one to you, it'll be finished with everything you need. Okay, one other thing I wanted to do, I decided, is in the peaceful cabin that this paper goes with is a little set of snowflakes. And I just felt like I needed a little bit. I'm using black because it's mounted on black, and there's nothing that says you can't go over the lines. Okay, so you could add your extra dimensional there, which I, like I said, I will do before I send it to somebody. On the inside, I'm grabbing, I cut my piercing mats in half. One goes in my travel bag, and one is, it's just easier than dealing with something big. Whenever I have a stamp set that is photopolymer with no cushion, I create my own. Every demonstrator is a little different, but my gals do know if it's not stamping well, it's because they don't have a cushion. Okay, season's greetings. Again, this is from The Merriest Moments. The season's greetings has that beautiful ivy frame. And then I would stick a little number under here, and that one's done. So I just wanted to give you a brief overview of how you could use your border papers to create one of these bay window cards. And again, I could put rhinestones on it. I could add a little wink of Stella under the bottom. You guys got the gist of this. And I have two others that I have. One I have done, this was my prototype, my beginner one. This is actually what Lisa Curcio, that's what it is, Curcio did. This is using the Heartfelt Hugs paper, our cute little seasonal snowman. He's punched out, his hat's punched out, the others are fussy cut. And this one then, she did put a piece, see, I always do one that I've seen first, and it then inspires me to go on. She stamped on a square, and so hers stands up a little differently. And we put these two pieces in separately, so it does not go underneath the double stick tape. And then I stamped the snowflakes from the little seasonal snowman in there. So that's one. This was my first. The others, I learned well, I guess. And then the last one, I actually got in a swap here not that long ago. This is using, what is it? Quiet Meadow, I believe. And she stamped and punched all kinds of things. Notice she put a little message in the center. I do not know if she used the same directions. They look like maybe they are. She stamped on some of the background paper from the Tasteful Nature. And she put stuff on the back side. I'm not real sure. And so her support system there continues the wall. So I like to share ideas, whether they're mine or not. It was from one of the demonstrators at my demonstrator meeting. And I wasn't there, but I did swap. So these then are my bay window cards for today. Please check my YouTube video for the actual directions if you'd like to place an order. There's my host code.